The wrench slipped from my sweat-slicked fingers and clattered into the sink drain like a gunshot in the dead quiet of the kitchen. Connor's face, pale, bruised, eyes wild with something between terror and fury, loomed over me as he grabbed my collar, yanking me up so close I could taste the copper tang of blood on his breath. "You weren't supposed to see this," he whispered, his voice cracking like thunder over Lake Michigan. And in that split second, I realized the man I'd fallen for in the span of one leaky faucet repair had just confessed to a murder he didn't commit. I never thought a busted pipe would upend my entire life. My name's Evan Hansen, and at 28, I was your classic Midwestern everyman, broad-shouldered from years of hauling tools across frost-bitten backyards in Milwaukee, with calluses that told stories of honest sweat and a heart buried under layers of flannel and denial. Growing up in a Rust Belt town where family values meant Sunday potlucks at the Lutheran church and whispers about Uncle Ray, who moved to California for the weather, I'd learned early to keep my attractions locked down tighter than a storm cellar door. Gay? Sure. In the privacy of my one-bedroom apartment above the hardware store, where I'd scroll through Grindr profiles until the guilt hit like a winter gale. But out loud? Never. Not when Dad's ghost still haunted the garage with his faded Semper Fi tattoo and Mom's Bible thumped on the nightstand like a judge's gavel. That muggy July morning in 2025, the call came through my freelance plumbing gig app, some upscale condo in the East Side, one of those glassy high-rises that screamed tech money against the gritty backdrop of the city. Sinks backing up bad. The voice on the line said, clipped and urgent. "Can you be here in an hour? Name's Connor Murphy." Murphy. It rang a vague bell, like a headline I'd skimmed over coffee. Something about a hotshot architect from a prominent family, the kind who designed those eco-friendly lofts popping up along the lakefront. I grabbed my toolkit, threw on my faded brewer's cap, and hit the gas in my beat-up Ford F-150, the AC blasting against the humidity that turned Milwaukee summers into a steam bath. The building was a monolith of steel and glass, doormen in crisp uniforms eyeing me like I'd tracked in Lake Michigan mud. Elevator to the 12th floor, and there he was, Connor Murphy, leaning against the doorframe in a half-unbuttoned Oxford shirt that hugged his lean frame just right, dark hair tousled like he'd run his hands through it one too many times. He was taller than I'd pictured, 6'2" easy, with sharp cheekbones and green eyes that pinned you like a blueprint under scrutiny. "Evan, thank God. It's a disaster in here." His smile was tight, but there was a warmth in it, the kind that made your chest loosen unexpectedly. I stepped inside, the condo a revelation. Exposed brick walls lined with abstract art prints, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the shimmering lake, and a kitchen island that probably cost more than my truck. The sink was indeed a mess, greasy water pooling around a disposal that hummed like a dying beehive. "Classic clog," I muttered, rolling up my sleeves. "Give me 20 minutes. He hovered, not in that annoying client way, but like he needed the distraction. We chatted, easy stuff at first. Him, fresh off a big project redesigning the Milwaukee Art Museum's annex. Me, dodging questions about my line of work, with jokes about pipes having more drama than reality TV. As I fished out a knotted mass of what looked like pasta and, was that a wedding ring? No, couldn't be. He laughed at my quip about Italian food betraying us all, and something shifted. His hand brushed mine when he passed the flashlight. Accidental, sure, but the spark was real, electric as a live wire. By the time I tightened the last bolt, the air felt thicker, charged. "That'll hold," I said, wiping my hands on my jeans. He leaned against the counter, arms crossed, studying me. "You're a lifesaver, Evan. Dinner? My treat. Least I can do." I should have said no. Had a shift at the hardware store later, and besides, what was this? But those eyes. Yeah, I heard myself say. I'd like that. Dinner turned into drinks at a harborside bar, the kind with craft IPAs and fairy lights strung over the patio. Connor opened up like a floodgate. Orphan young, raised by a senator dad more interested in polls than parenting, a mom lost to cancer before he hit double digits. He was out, proudly, he said, but the scars ran deep. "Family name's everything in this town," he admitted over his third stout. "Murphy means legacy. I mean innovation." His foot nudged mine under the table, deliberate this time, and I didn't pull away. We talked dreams, his of sustainable cities that breathe green into concrete jungles, mine of saving enough to buy a cabin up north, away from the noise. By midnight, walking back to his place, his hand found mine in the shadows of the oak-lined street. Soft, tentative, mine squeezed back. That first kiss happened on his doorstep, under the sodium glow of the hallway light. It was slow, exploratory, his lips tasting of hops and hesitation, mine of the fear I'd carried for years. When we broke apart, foreheads pressed, he whispered, "Stay?" I did. We didn't rush. It was hands tracing collarbones over shirts, breaths mingling on the couch as some indie playlist hummed low. Just connection, raw and real. Waking up tangled in his sheets the next morning, sunlight slanting through blinds onto his sleeping face, peaceful, unguarded. I felt something crack open inside me. Hope, maybe. Or love. Too soon to name. The weeks blurred into a rhythm that felt stolen from a rom-com, the kind they play at pride festivals downtown. Stolen lunches at the public market, where we'd share pierogies and steal glances over the harbor's yacht traffic. Late nights at his place, debating zoning laws over takeout from the Vietnamese spot on Brady Street. Him railing against NIMBY homeowners blocking affordable housing. Me nodding along, mesmerized by the fire in his voice. He met my mom once, over coffee at her bungalow. She eyed him suspiciously at first. Fancy architect, huh? But warmed when he complimented her rhubarb pie recipe, a relic from Grandma's farm days. Sex. We took it slow, respectful. First time was after a rain-soaked hike in the Kettle Moraine, mud caking our boots, laughing as we stripped down in his shower. It was tender, affirming, bodies fitting like puzzle pieces we'd both been missing. No porn star theatrics, just vulnerability, whispers of "you okay?" and "God, I needed this." Afterward, curled against his chest, his heartbeat steady under my ear, I confessed my own ghosts. The high school bullying after someone outed me via a leaked text, the years of therapy I couldn't afford, the grinder ghosts that left me hollow. He held me tighter, murmuring, "You're not alone anymore, Evan. Not with me." But cracks showed early, if I'd looked closer. His phone buzzed constantly, texts from Zoe, a sister he mentioned in passing, voice tightening when her name came up. Late calls from the office, pulling him away mid-conversation. And once, spotting a framed photo on his mantle. Him, younger, arm around a broad-shouldered guy with a military buzz cut, both in camo jackets at some desert outpost. "Best friend from RODC," he said when I asked, but his eyes darted away. I let it slide. Trust, right? That's what you build in the honeymoon haze. Fall crept in with amber leaves carpeting the lake paths, and our thing deepened. He dragged me to a gala at the Pfister Hotel, me in a rented tux that pinched at the shoulders, him resplendent in tailored black, charming donors with talk of carbon-neutral skyscrapers. We danced, his hand firm at my waist, ignoring the sidelong stares from old money types. "Let him talk," he grinned, spinning me under the chandelier. That night, in the hotel suite overlooking the lights, we made promises. "Move in with me," he said, tracing patterns on my skin. "Make this real." I said yes, heart pounding like a jackhammer. Packing my apartment felt like shedding skin. Mom cried over the boxes. "You'll visit, right?" "Every Sunday." I promised, hugging her fierce. The hardware store guys threw a mock send-off, razzying me about going corporate. Connor helped load the truck, sweat beading on his brow, and as we drove back to our place, I thought, this is it. The American dream, queered up, two guys building a life against the odds. But dreams have foundations, and his was starting to shift. It hit during a quiet November evening, frost etching the windows like lace. I'd surprised him with tickets to the Brewers playoff watch party downtown, our first official date as live-ins. He was late, as usual, buried in revisions for a bid on Chicago's Loop. When the door finally clicked open, his face was ashen. "Ty askew. Rough day," he muttered, dropping his briefcase. I pulled him into a hug, but he stiffened, just a fraction, enough to notice. The game blurred into cheers and spilled beer, but his silences grew heavier. Halfway through the seventh, his phone lit up. "Incoming, Dad." He stepped out into the chilly concourse, voice low and clipped. I caught fragments. "That not now." I said, "It's handled." When he returned, he forced a smile. but his eyes were storms. "Everything okay?" I asked, hand on his knee. He nodded, too quick. "Yeah, just politics." We made love that night in the truck on the drive home, parked overlooking the dark water, desperate, urgent, like he was anchoring himself to me. But dawn brought the first real fracture. I woke to him pacing the kitchen, phone clutched like a grenade. "Connor." He froze, then sighed. "It's Zoe. She's coming to town. Family stuff." The way he said family twisted something in my gut. Not ours, his. She arrived 2 days later, a whirlwind in leather boots and a pixie-cut dyed electric blue. Zoe Murphy, 25 and fierce, a barista-ish activist who'd backpacked through the Badlands protesting pipelines. She hugged me like an old friend, but her eyes scanned Connor with surgeon's precision. Dinner was Thai takeout on the couch, her grilling him about the Chicago bid while I played buffer with spring rolls. "Dad's on your ass again?" she asked, blunt as a Milwaukee winter. Connor's jaw tightened. "Always is. Thinks I'm wasting the name on tree hugger bullshit." Zoe rolled her eyes, then turned to me. "Evan, you're a saint for putting up with his brooding. Remember Larry?" She laughed, but it was edged. Connor shot her a look, sharp, warning. Ancient history. The air thickened, unspoken words hanging like fog off the lake. Later, as she crashed in the guest room, I cornered him in the hall. "Who's Larry?" He deflated, rubbing his neck. "Ex. From college. Bad breakup. Involved drugs, some. Mess with Dad's campaign. Zoe's just stirring shit." I wanted to press, but his kiss silenced me. Deep, apologetic. "It doesn't matter. You're what matters now." I believed him. Or tried to. Winter clamped down hard that year, snowdrifts burying the city in white silence. Our life settled into domestic bliss laced with undercurrents. Him vanishing for client meetings that stretched into nights, me picking up extra shifts to cover the rent spike. Valentine's Day, he redeemed it all. A candlelit picnic in the conservatory at the Mitchell Park Domes, blankets spread under exotic orchids, champagne fizzing in plastic flutes. "To us," he toasted, eyes soft. "The only legacy I want." We slow danced to a busker's guitar, his chin on my shoulder, and I melted into it, forgetting the shadows. But shadows lengthen. March brought the leak. Not pipes this time, but truth seeping through. I found the letter in his briefcase, tucked under blueprints. Heavy cream stock, embossed with the Wisconsin state capitol seal. "Connor, we need to talk about the incident. Larry's estate is reopening the case. Your involvement." My stomach dropped. Incident? Involvement? I confronted him that night, paper trembling in my fist. He snatched it, face draining of color. "Evan, listen. Tell me." I demanded, voice breaking. "What the hell is this?" He sank onto the bed, head in hands. The story spilled out in fragments. College, 21 and invincible, partying with Larry, his first love, the ROTC buddy from the photo. A night blurred by ecstasy tabs at a frat bash gone wrong. Larry overdosed in Connor's dorm, DOA by the time paramedics arrived. Connor, panicked, hid the pills, afraid Dad's nascent Senate run would crater under scandal. I lied to the cops, said it was booze alone. Zoe covered for me, said she was there. His voice cracked. "He was gone, Evan. My fault." Guilt hit me like a blizzard. Rage at the waist, sorrow for the boy he'd been. But love? It held. "You were scared," I said, pulling him close. "It's not too late to make it right." He clung to me, sobbing into my shirt. "I love you for that. For seeing me." Spring thawed the ice, and with it, resolve. Connor met with a lawyer, prepared a statement for the reopened inquiry. Zoe rallied, digging up old records to prove it was accident, not cover-up. Me? I stood sentinel, holding his hand through nightmares where Larry's ghost accused him from the shadows. Pride Month bloomed vibrant. Rainbow flags snapping along Water Street. Us marching hand in hand. His kiss defiant under the arch. "This is us," he said. "No more hiding." Summer hummed again, our 1-year mark approaching. Plans for a getaway to Door County. Cabins by the bay, cherry pies from orchards. But August brought the storm. It started with a knock at dawn, insistent, like fate with a battering ram. Connor groaned from the bed, but I was up, brewing coffee in the kitchen, the lake a steel mirror outside. "Evan, it's Dad." Larry Murphy, senator now, silver-haired fox in tailored suits, face plastered on billboards promising Midwest strong. I'd met him once at a fundraiser, handshake firm, eyes appraising me like faulty rebar. The plumber, he'd said, not unkindly. Now, here he was, flanked by a suit who screamed fixer. Connor emerged, shirtless and rumpled, hardening instantly. What the hell, Dad? It's 6 a.m. Larry's gaze flicked to me, dismissive, then back. We need to talk. Alone. The suit hovered, briefcase in hand. I bristled. Anything you say to him, you say to both of us. Connor's hand found mine, squeezing. Gratitude, steel. They retreated to the study, voices muffled through the door. Reopening. Your statement. Optics. An hour later, Larry emerged, face carved from granite. Think about the family, son. Connor followed, ashen. He wants me to recant. Say it was all a lie, pin it on Larry's instability. The suit slid papers across the island. NDA, hush money clause disguised as settlement. 5 figures. Enough to vanish. Fuck that, I spat. Connor nodded, slow. I'm telling the truth. All of it. Larry's laugh was bitter. Truth? In politics? You'll bury us. He stormed out, but not before his parting shot. And you, Evan? How long before his baggage drags you down too? The door slammed like judgment. Fallout rippled. Headlines trickled. Senator's son in overdose probe revival. Tabloids twisting it into architect's deadly secret. Connor's firm put him on leave. Clients ghosted. Zoe flew in, rage incarnate, drafting op-eds for the Journal-Sentinel. Justice delayed for a fallen friend. We hunkered down, my hardware shifts covering groceries, nights spent in each other's arms, whispering affirmations. You're brave, I'd say, kissing his temple. And you're my anchor, he'd reply, fingers lacing mine. But anchors drag. Mid-October, Connor withdrew, staring at blueprints unseeing, snapping at my touch. Space, he said one night, after I found him chain-smoking on the balcony. Just need to breathe. Hurt bloomed, sharp as frostbite. Was it the pressure? Or me? I crashed at Mom's, her spare room smelling of mothballs and worry. He loves you, Han, but love don't fix broken bones. She meant his soul's fractures. I nodded, throat tight. Reconciliation came haltingly. A bouquet of lake lilies on my truck dash, his note. Miss your laugh. Come home. I did, and we rebuilt. Therapy sessions at the LGBTQ center downtown, where a soft-spoken counselor named Raj unpacked Connor's survivor guilt. Larry chose the pills, Raj said gently. You chose to live. Tears, then laughter over post-session falafel. Holidays shimmered. Thanksgiving at Zoe's loft, her girlfriend Myra's lax rivaling Mom's kugel. Christmas Eve, snow blanketing the city, we strung lights on our tiny tree, his gift a custom toolkit engraved, Evan, my fixer of hearts. New Year dawned crisp, 2026. The inquiry wrapped. No charges. Connor's testimony lauded as courageous in a quiet DA's note. Relief washed us clean. Clean slate. I asked, toasting with hot cocoa by the fire. He grinned, that old spark. Better, our story. Spring greened the lakefront paths, and with it, a proposal. Not grand. Picnic under the cherry blossoms in Juneau Park, seagulls wheeling overhead. He knelt, ring simple silver band etched with coordinates. Our first kiss spot. Evan Hansen, you're my blueprint. Marry me. Tears blurred his face as I yanked him up, yes exploding from my lips. Kisses turned to cheers from joggers, a spontaneous rainbow of strangers clapping. American as apple pie, queered and proud. Wedding plans buzzed, small, June affair at a lakeside pavilion, Mom and Zoe tag-teaming floral debates. Connor's firm called him back, a promotion dangling, lead on a queer-inclusive housing project in Walker's Point. Life crested, wave after golden wave. Then, the undertow. It was a sticky July afternoon, me knee-deep in a crawlspace job in Bayview, radio crackling with old-school Springsteen. My phone buzzed, unknown number. Evan, it's Mira, Zoe's girlfriend. You need to see this. Link followed. A grainy photo, time-stamped last night. Connor, arms slung around a guy at a dimly lit bar, same broad shoulders, buzz-cut echo from the RODC pic. Caption, reunited and it feels so good. Old flames. My wrench clattered, world tilting. Larry? No, the guy was younger, but the vibe. Intimate. Laughing, heads close. Heart hammering, I drove straight home, bursting into the condo. Empty. Note on the counter. Meeting ran late. Love you, dinner out. Lies. I scrolled Myra's text chain, Zoe's fury. Found his phone history. Texts to A. Bar last night. A as in. He walked in at 7, whistling, takeout bag swinging. Smell hit first, bourbon on his breath. Hey babe, my slap echoed, palm stinging. Who the fuck is a? Photo thrust under his nose. Color drained. Evan, it's not. Save it. Rage boiled. Years of my own closets fueling it. Larry wasn't enough? Now you're sneaking around while I'm playing house husband. He reached, but I jerked back. It's Alex. Cousin. Family reunion thing. Zoe's blowing it up. Plausible? Maybe. But the bar? The arm? Prove it. He did. Calling Alex on speaker, voice tinny. Tell him, man. Last night. Laughter, then. Yeah. Dude. Just beers with the fam. Connor's whipped. Talks about you nonstop. Relief crashed, but suspicion lingered, a splinter. Why hide it? He deflated. Dad's drama. Didn't want to stir. We made up, bodies colliding in apology, but the trust? Cracked. August deepened the fissure. Anonymous emails started, tips to my inbox. Ask about the safe deposit box. Connor's not who you think. Paranoia crept. I tailed him once, to a coffee shop, meet with a guy in wire rims. Lawyer? Lover? Turned out, estate attorney for Larry's final bequests. Just closing chapters, he explained later, hurt in his eyes. Why don't you trust me? Because everything's a secret with you. I yelled, first real fight. Plates slammed, words like shrapnel, my insecurities, his defenses. You think I'm the villain? After everything. Door slam. Me on the couch, him in the bedroom. Dawn brought truce, hugs, I'm sorry's. But the emails persisted, sender, truth seeker 88. September's equinox brought the gale. Wedding invites mailed, RSVPs trickling, mom's, yes, with bells on. Zoe's hell yes, brother. Then, a package, no return address. Inside, flash drive, typed note. Watch before you walk down the aisle. Laptop trembled in my hands. Video grainy, time-stamped college party. Connor, young, laughing with Larry. Kiss, then more, intimate, blurry. Cut to argument. We can't keep doing this, Con. Your dad's gonna kill us. Larry's voice slurred. Pills popped. Overdose scene. Connor fleeing as sirens wail. Horror, then, twist, a second figure, dragging Larry's body? Not Connor. Wait. The build, the stance. Phone rang. Zoe. Evan, don't watch that shit. It's doctored. But doubt festered. Confrontation that night. Drive shoved at him. Explain this. His face crumpled. Fake. Someone's framing me. Dad, probably. Control the narrative. Tears. Believe me. I wanted to. God, I did. But the splinter wedged deeper. I need time. Packed a bag. Crashed at a buddy's in River West. Days blurred. Shifts. Beers. Mom's worried calls. Love's not easy, but it's worth fighting. Connor's texts. Please. Poems. Photos of our spots. Heart warred with head. October's chill mirrored my bones when Zoe cornered me at a coffee shop. It's Cynthia. Who? Larry's sister. Bitter as hell. Blames Connor for not saving him, for stealing his future. Proof. Emails traced to her IP, video metadata faked. Relief? Partial. But the damage, my faith, eroded. Reunion tentative. Dinner at our Vietnamese spot. Hands tentative across the table. Marry me still? He asked, vulnerable. If you'll have me, I whispered. Yes. Again. November elections loomed. Larry's rerun teetered on scandals. Connor testified voluntarily. Full disclosure, no NDA. Front page. Murphy air comes clean. A son's redemption. Polls dipped. Dad called. Voice ice. You've ruined us. Connor. No, Dad. I freed us. Thanksgiving. Expanded table. Mom, Zoe, Mira, even Alex, the cousin. Easy laugh, zero threat. Turkey carved, toasts raised. To truths, Connor said, eyes on me. Love swelled, fierce. But December whispered warnings. A final email, one more secret. Check the attic. Our condo had no attic. Wait, his old family cabin up north, the one we'd planned for honeymoon. Just ghosts, he'd said. Curiosity gnawed. I drove up alone, snow crunching under tires, key under the mat. Inside, musty, time-capsuled. Up the pull-down stairs, boxes of Larry's, letters, photos. One envelope, sealed. For Connor, if I don't make it. Heart seized. Larry scrawl. I love you. Always did. But this. It's killing me. The hiding, your family. If you're reading this, forgive me. And yourself. Tears blurred ink. No blame. Just pain, parallel to Connor's. I pocketed it, drove back, snowstorm raging. Home, him shoveling the walk, breath clouds. Where were you? Worry lines. I handed the letter. He read, collapsed against me. He knew. All along. We burned it in the fireplace that night, ashes to embers. No more ghosts, I said. He nodded, kiss sealing it. Winter solstice party, friends, mulled wine, our ring fingers glinting. Laughter echoed, future bright. January 2026, wedding month. Final fittings, vows drafted. In sickness, in secrets. No, in truth. Smiles. But fate's a plumber's snake, twists unexpected. The morning of the rehearsal dinner, February 14th, Valentine's bleed into wedding eve. Dawn broke pink over the lake, promising. Connor stirred beside me, murmuring sleepy affections, his body warm against the sheets. We'd shifted the date up, snow be damned. Life's too short for waits. The pavilion booked, florists scrambling for hothouse roses. Mom buzzing from her hotel. Evan, the cake's divine. Zoe, don't chicken out, bro. Laughter over breakfast, avocado toast, his foot hooking mine under the table. By noon, the condo thrummed, suits pressed, boutonnieres pinned. I caught him in the mirror, adjusting his tie, nervous grin. Ready to be Mr. Handsome Murphy? He pulled me close. Born ready. Kiss, lingering. Then his phone. Larry. Ignore, he said, but tension coiled. Dad's bluffing. Always does. Rehearsal at the pavilion. Snow-dusted gazebo overlooking iced waves, heaters humming. Officiant. A drag queen named Magnolia, voice like velvet, ran us through paces. Vows exchanged in practice. Mine. You fixed me when I didn't know I was broken. His. You're my forever foundation. Laughter, claps. Dinner followed at Lake Park Bistro. Intimate, 20 souls. Family, friends, Myra's band playing acoustic covers. Toasts flowed. Mom's teary, my boys found his heart. Zoe's roast. Connor, if you hurt him, I'll bury you in the moraine. Cheers, wine warming veins. Midway, Larry arrived. Uninvited, suit impeccable. Zoe at his elbow like a reluctant handler. Family duty, he muttered, shaking my hand stiffly. Connor's jaw set, but he nodded, grudging grace. Table talk strained. Politics skirted, Larry probing Connor's career pivot. Still chasing windmills? Bite hidden in smile. Connor, building homes, Dad. Real ones. I squeezed his thigh under the linen, anchor. As plates cleared, Larry pulled Connor aside. Whispers by the roaring hearth. I watched, wine glass cooling in hand. Zoe slid next. He's offering a truce. Senate apology tour. Spin it as healing. Cynical snort. Don't let him reel you in. Connor returned, face stormy. Says he'll endorse the housing project if I play ball publicly. Prodigal son narrative. Tempted? Flicker in his eyes. It's leverage for good, Evan. Affordable units for queer youth. I nodded, uneasy. Your call. But no strings. Nightcap back home. Us against the world. Robes loose, fire crackling. Love you. He breathed, making slow love on the rug. Gentle, reaffirming. Sleep came easy, dreams of cherry blossoms, not storms. Wedding day dawned blizzard white, wind howling off the lake like banshees. Pavilion crew shoveled paths, guests braved drifts in Ubers. I paced the bridal groom, suite at the hotel, Mom fussing with my boutonniere. Breathe, Han, he's the one. Mirror reflection, me, 30 now, in slim charcoal suit, eyes bright with terror joy. Connor texted, heart emoji, see you at forever. Ceremony at 4, snow swirling like confetti, heaters battling the gale. Guests huddled in coats, faces flushed, 20 diehards, including Larry, stone-faced in the front row. Magnolia's voice boomed. Dearly beloved, in this wild Wisconsin winter. Processional, Zoe on guitar, Mira harmonizing at last. Connor at the altar, breathtaking in navy, eyes locked on mine as I walked the aisle, Mom's arm steadying. Vows real now. Choked, true. Rings exchanged, silver bands kissing. I do. Kiss, fierce, ceiling. Cheers erupted, snow gusting applause. Reception indoors, ballroom aglow, tables laden with walleye and wild rice, cake towering 3 tiers. Dances. Father-son turned father in. Larry awkward, 2-step stiff, but there, proud of you, son. Connor's nod, cautious thaw. First dance hours. Wonderwall, his cheek to mine, world fading. Whispers, husband. Shiver of bliss. But joy's fragile as hoarfrost. Halfway through cake cutting, a server slipped me an envelope. Plain, urgent. From the senator's car, sir. Larry's limo idling outside. Heart stuttered. Bathroom stall. Note inside, typed. Stop the wedding. He's lying. C for Cynthia? Larry? Confusion roiled. Back out, spotting Connor laughing with Alex. Easy, brotherly. But the note burned pocket. I cornered Larry by the bar. What is this? He scanned it, face paling. Cynthia? She's unhinged, threatened exposure. Exposure of what? The real story. Larry didn't OD alone. My blood iced. Meaning? He glanced away. Someone helped. Pills weren't his. Accusation hung. Connor? No. Larry's eyes screamed regret. Family protects family. But you're not. Reeled, I found Connor on the dance floor, pulled him to a quiet hall. Tell me everything. Now. Note thrust. He read, deflated. Dad's protecting me. It was him, Larry's death. Pushed the pills during the fight, cover up to shield the campaign. I knew Evan. Hid it all these years. Bomb dropped. Betrayal tripled. His silence, my blindness. Why marry me? Pity. No. Desperate grab. Love. Redemption. You make me want to be better. Tears. I was going to confess, tonight, after. Lies. Truth. Heart fractured. I need air. Bolted into the storm, tux sodden, driving blind through wide-out streets. Phone exploded. Calls, texts. Come back. Please. Crashed at Mom's. Door barely shut before sobs racked. What happened? Arms around me. Story spilled, ugly raw. She held, rocking. Oh, Evan. Secrets poison. Dawn. Resolve. Call Zoe. Get me Cynthia's number. Met at a diner off I-94. Her gaunt. Eyes feral. Larry was weak. She spat over black coffee. Your husband's dad murdered him. Framed Connor to look guilty. I have proof. Audio from that night. Played. Larry's voice. Pleading. Larry Sr.'s growl. Take these. End the embarrassment. Struggle, gasp. Silence. Horror. Cynthia. Want justice? Testify with me. Tempted. Rage for Larry, for Connor's chains. But love? It warred. Drove to the cabin, our honeymoon ghost. Snow buried it deep. Inside, letters reread. Larry's forgiveness echoed. What would he want? Truth, messy as it was. Returned to the city 2 days later, storm cleared, sun mocking. Condo dark, Connor curled on the couch, hollow-eyed. Evan. Broken. I knelt. I know about your dad. All of it. Flinch. Cynthia showed me. Silence stretched. Then, I'm turning him in. Tomorrow. DA's office. Steel in his voice. No more lies. Together, we did. Station house sterile, statements given. His confession, Cynthia's tape. Larry arrested by noon. Headlines screaming senator in murder shocker. Fallout tsunami. Campaign imploded. Zoe disowning publicly. Mom's prayers fervent. Connor and I. Adrift in the wreckage. Weeks blurred. Media hounds at our door. Relocation to a safe house in Madison. University town. Quieter pulse. Therapy intensified. Raj mediating. Betrayal's a wound, but forgiveness is choice. Nights. Holding each other through tremors. His whispers. I almost lost you. Mine. We rebuild. Together. Spring 2026 green tentative. Larry's trial loomed. May date set. Connor testified first. Poised. Unflinching. My father killed to preserve power. I enabled by silence. No more. Jury gasped at the tape. Conviction swift. Manslaughter, 15 years. Cynthia's relief bitter. Justice, finally. Handshake, tentative bridge. Summer healed slow. Door County cabin, Real honeymoon. Kayaks on the bay, stargazing bonfires. No ghosts, just us, rings glinting firefly soft. Remarry me? He asked one dusk on the dock. Laugh. Every day. Love, deepened by fire. But scars itch. Fall brought whispers. Old friends drifting. Too much drama. Zoe reconciled, but distance lingered. My plumbing gig expanded. Now consulting on green builds with Connor's firm. Pride 2026. We marched again. His speech. Love demands truth. Even when it breaks you. Applause thundered. November chill. Election cycle ghosts. Larry's seat flipped. Progressive win. Rainbow coalition. Connor. Karma's a vote. We toasted. Quiet. December holidays. Mom's tree trimming. Zoe's eggnog spiked. Laughter returned. Fragile but real. January 2027. Anniversary. Dinner at our harbor spot. Waves lapping. 1 year, he said, hand over mine. Worth every storm. Kiss, salt tanged. But life's no fairy tale, twists linger. February's anniversary gale mirrored our first winter, fierce, unyielding. We'd moved back to Milwaukee proper, a cozy brownstone in Bayview. Salt air breezes, neighbor kids' bikes cluttering sidewalks. My toolkit hung in the mudroom beside his drafting table. Mornings synced, coffee black for him, cream for me. Life's rhythm, steady, earned. Yet, undercurrents stirred. Cynthia's justice soured. Post-trial, she spiraled. Lawsuits against the Murphys, media leaks twisting Connor as accomplice. One night, tabloid ping. Widower's sister claims architect knew of plot. Bullshit, but venomous. Connor's firm wavered. Bored whispers of optics. He brushed it. We've weathered worse. But sleep evaded him, shadows under eyes. I pushed back. Nights scrolling legal forums, drafting cease and desist with a pro bono ally from the center. We're fighters, I'd say, pulling him from the balcony chill. Lovemaking as balm, slow, soul deep, reaffirming bonds. You're my north, he'd murmur, fingers mapping my spine. Spring bloomed defiant, cherry trees defiant pink against gray skies. We planted a sapling in Juneau Park, plaque, for Larry, roots of truth. Dedication small, Zoe, Mira, Raj. Spade turned earth, Connor's voice steady. Growth from pain. Tears, then picnic, sandwiches, laughter chasing ghosts. Summer scorched, heat waves warping the lake, AC units humming overtime. Connor's project launched, queer youth co-op in Walker's Point. Solar panels, community gardens, safe spaces etched in. Groundbreaking. Ribbons snipped, his speech electric. Homes aren't just walls, they're where you breathe free. I swelled proud, arm around his waist for photos. Us, unapologetic. But August whispered fracture. Anonymous call to my cell. Distorted voice. He didn't tell you about the deal, did he? Deal? Hung up, heart racing. Confronted that eve. What deal? He paled. Dad's appeal fund. I donated, anonymous, to keep him quiet in prison. Leverage for dropping Cynthia's suits. Betrayal fresh, another secret. Why hide? Hurt cracked my voice. Thought it'd protect us. End it. Fury flared. Secrets aren't shields. They're walls. Stormed out, driving aimless, harbor lights blurring. Hours later, return. Him waiting, eyes red. You're right. No more. Bonfire of documents. Checks, memos, flames devouring. Oath. Transparency. Always. Fall cooled tempers. Zoe's wedding. Hers to Mira, vineyard affair upstate. We flew, best men tandem. Tuxes, toasts synced. To loves that endure, I said, clinking. Their kiss under arbor, mirror to ours. Back home, harvest moon walks, hands clasped, futures sketched, adoption talks, maybe? Little Hansons, he joked. Or Murphys. Hybrids. November's gray, Larry's appeal denied, final nail. Letter from him smuggled. Son, forgive an old fool. You were right. Connor burned it unread. Past ash. Thanksgiving. Expanded. Mom's pies. Zoe's activism rants. Even Cynthia invited. Tense at first. Her apology halting. Grief blinded me. Truce over turkey. To healing. Wine eased edges. December sparkled. Tree lot hall. Lights strung harbor view. Holiday party. Friends reclaimed. Carols belted off key. New Year's Eve. Rooftop bash, countdown kiss under fireworks, lake exploding color. 2027 dawned ambitious. Connor's co-op ribbon cut. Residents moved in. Teens with stories like ours, eyes wide with hope. My role, maintenance lead, fixing leaks literal and not. Team Hanson Murphy, sign read. Pride swelled. But March tested. Cynthia relapsed, public meltdown, accusing Connor of buying silence. Restraining order filed, media circus reignited. Nights. Him pacing, why won't it end? I held. Because healing's messy. But we're solid. April showers, therapy breakthrough. Raj, betrayal's echo, release it. Exercise, letters unwritten, burned. Freedom tasted like rain fresh air. May's warmth. Anniversary trip, Badlands echo, backpacking trails Larry loved. Tents pitched under stars, stories swapped. He'd like you. Connor said, firelit. The fixer. Tears, then stargazing. Milky Way vast, us small, connected. Summer hump content. Co-op thrived. My freelance boomed. Green plumbing consults. Weekends. Bike rides along the Oak Esplanade. Picnics with craft brews. Love's language. Easy now worn in. Fall whispers change. September. Positive test. Not ours, but Zoe's. Pregnancy announcement. Aunt, Uncle dreams stirred. Ready? He asked, hand on my belly. Empty, but full of maybe. With you? Always. October's blaze. Foliage tour, leaf peeping up north. Cabin revisited, renovated, ours now. Doc sits, letters ghosts exorcised. Our legacy, he said, ring twisting. November chill, election watch. National, hopefuls promising equity. We volunteered, canvassing Walker's Point, knocking on doors. Vote for homes, Connor urged. One elder, you too? Inspiration, hearts full. Thanksgiving redux, table groaning, Cynthia's seat empty, but card arrived, peace. Progress. December's hush, solstice gathering, co-op kids caroling, cocoa steaming. Lights twinkled Lakewood. January 2028, 2 years wed. Dinner intimate. Vietnamese, spring rolls shared. Toast, to shock survived. Laughter, remembering that sink. But life's arc bends gentle now. Spring, adoption inquiry, foster match, teen named Riley, eyes wary but kind. Home visits, awkward chats, board games. Family, he asks. Us, if you'll have us. Summer bonds. Riley moves in. Chaos of sneakers, late night talks. Connor coaches soccer. I fix bike chains. Dads, he tests. Grins all around. Fall deepens. School routines, parent-teacher nights. Zoe's baby arrives. Niece Nora, tiny fists waving. Winter wraps. Holidays layered. Mom's cookies, co-op feasts. New Year's. Family expanded. Countdowns multiplied. Years fold. Riley thrives. Graduation 2035, college bound. Us, silver hairs creeping, lines laughter etched. Cabin weekends, rocking chairs, hands clasped. Reflections, that sink. Catalyst. Shocks. Teachers. Love. The constant. In Milwaukee's heart, lake eternal witness, we endure. Human, flawed, whole. American dream, rewritten. 2 men, truths bared, building against winds. And if another leak springs, we'll fix it. Together.